This is our 12 by 8D enclosure. It's part of our H-Series of enclosures. Now our H-Series is a little bit different than our other series of enclosures. For example, the M and the F-Series, those are all enclosures that have the same set of features. They just come in different sizes because they're designed to hold different groups of batteries. Whereas our H-Series, they are all large, front-opening, ground-mounted cabinets, but they're going to all be designed a little bit differently for a little bit different need. They're going to have different size back plates, and they're going to be designed to hold different amounts of batteries. So this one right here is the 12 by 8D. It's designed to hold 12 8D batteries. It took a lot of different features from our different enclosures. For example, it has the same latches as the F-Series, the compression locking latches with the dust cover that you have to have the key to open. And it also has the same hinges as the F-Series, so it's really easy to take the door off if you want to get it out of the way. All you have to do is pick it up, get it out of the way. It also features the NEMA 3R rating from the F-Series of enclosures, so it has the gasket on the inside of the door and the rain gutter to keep water from getting inside the enclosure. Alternately, you can get the wing locking padlock latch from the M-Series of enclosures if you would like. We can swap that latch out. It also features the louvers on the side from the M-Series of enclosures. And on the inside, it takes a lot of features from the UPS cabinet, such as the way the backplate mounts, and a couple other features that we'll show you when we're actually looking at the inside of the enclosure that just make it a little bit easier to install some larger equipment in there. All right, so I'm just going to show you guys around the outside of this enclosure a little bit, and then we'll take a look at the inside. Here you can see these are the same hinges that are available on our F-Series of enclosures. They make it super easy to take the door off if you want to take it off. These louvers right here are the same louvers that are available on the M-Series of enclosure. Just nice, make sure there's plenty of air flow in the enclosure, but no water is going to get in. This hole right here is for a generator input, so you can run AC power in to charge your batteries if you want. If you don't want to use this, there's a cover that'll come with this, so that way it's not an open hole and the water gets in there. And then there's 1/2 inch knockout on the side, and obviously there's a ton of space to drill any other holes you need for conduit. So we'll go over to the other side, we'll open up the door. All right, so we were just over there just a millisecond ago, now we're over here. Nothing happened in between those two things. So as you can see, these are the same latches available in our F-Series of enclosures. They're compression latches, and they have this nice dust cover on them. You have to have this key to open them, and each of these enclosures is going to come with 2 of these keys if you need more. They're available on our website through our eBay page for $6. So we'll go ahead and open up the enclosure. And as you can see, we'll take a look at the latch right here. So it's going to actually turn and then pull the latch in, which is going to pull the door nice and snug up against the gutter there, which is going to make a nice seal, prevent any water from getting in your door. As you can see, it's a really big door. So that's kind of nice with the removable hinges, that the door is pretty easy to lift off if it's in your way, or if you've got this in a semi-restrictive space, you can just pick the door off, set it off to the side while you do your work inside the enclosure, put it back on, lock it back up, everything's nice and secure. So as you can see, what we got going on here is we've got 6 open bays that fit 2 8D batteries each. We've got some real 8D batteries up here. Nice, heavy, real, definitely not fake 8D batteries that we put inside this enclosure. Just to kind of demonstrate, show you what it looks like when you got 2 8D batteries up in here. We have these nice shelf supports here. The first version of this enclosure, we didn't have the shelf supports, and it turns out 8D batteries are heavy. So we added in this shelf support to make sure that these things stay nice and straight, give it a little bit more structural rigidity to the actual enclosure. But we made sure we put these nice big pass-throughs in here. You can see I fit my whole arm through there, just to give you lots of space for running your wires between your batteries, depending on what voltage you want them at. And over in the corners, we put some nice big cutouts in there. Once again, it's just for running your battery cables, give you lots of space. They're at the front and at the back, so there's plenty of options depending on what size batteries you have, or if you want them oriented towards the front or towards the back for whatever your application is. So as you can see, the space up here, nice open space for your controls and your equipment and all, whatever you want in here. You could technically put 4 more 8D batteries up here. We don't recommend it just because of the weight. Like these 8Ds are really heavy. It'd be really hard to get them up there. If you were doing like lithium batteries, you know, that might be all right, but we don't recommend 16. That's why it's the 12 by 8D, because this is your space for your equipment, your breakers, your terminal blocks, your inverters, chargers, anything like that. As you can see up here, We just had a Magnum Inverter Charger in the warehouse, so we threw it up here to give a little bit of scale to the space. This one is the MS4024 PAE Inverter Charger. We'll link the link down in the description below if you're interested in it, 002455. But that's just really up here to just show some scale, show you some potential equipment that could go up here. Like I showed you on the outside over here, that's where your generator receptacle would be. So this potentially could be your AC side of the enclosure. And then over here on this side, we've got studs that are pre-installed in the enclosure. Now we put those in there because a lot of times with enclosures like this, we'll have a big battery disconnect breaker that we put up there, 175 or 250 amp breaker. And we have a bracket that we utilize that hits those studs. So we just put those in here so that that's always in there. So you could potentially use it for that. You could use it for anything else that's gonna hit those studs. Or you could just not use it at all. But either way, it's over on that side. Now, what we went with for the back plates up here is a strut mounting system. So as you can see up in that top left corner, there's a spring nut in the strut. So what that allows you to do is you can basically put those holes anywhere you want along that strut. This enclosure has a custom size backplate that's about this size for it. And what we kind of designed with the intent of was 2 backplates that would go up there, cover that whole space, but be a little bit easier to take in, put out than one giant long backplate. But potentially you could do whatever you want with that space up there. Like I said, that's why we went with the strut with the spring nuts. So you have plenty of options. You could do smaller backplates. You could do just one backplate, whatever you wanted to do up there. Plenty of space and plenty of options. So that's our 12 by 18 enclosure, part of our H-Series of enclosures. Everything that we showed in this video will be linked in the video description below if you're curious. Also, feel free to visit our website and reach out with one of our solar experts if you're curious about whether or not this enclosure will be the best enclosure to help meet your power needs.